Hi guys, welcome back to the Soccer Kicks channel. Today we have a boot from a Mexican brand called Charly. They've been around since 1950 but have been in and out of the boot game, at least in the US, the last decade. The silo in my hands, the Zinetik, was first released in April as part of their PFX performance launch, introducing 3 silos. I'll get into all the details for you in this review and where to get them. Charly is predominantly popular in Mexico as that's where it all began and continues to operate from. They have a few Liga MX clubs and are now involved in the USL. One of the biggest players at the moment to wear Charly is Hector Herrera, who just signed with them a few months ago. They recently started creating more boots, having just launched the Zinetik, which is their speed silo, the Stinger, a control silo, and the Honor, which is more of a classic silo. The Zinetik released at $160 and you can find them in the links below. The Zinetik has a knitted upper. It's quite soft and has a decent amount of volume. For the most part though, it feels like a synthetic leather upper than it does a stretchy knit. You also have the knitted collar and tongue that is all blended to make this a one-piece upper construction. On top of the boot, you also notice a strip that goes over the middle of the laces. They are calling this the extended strike zone, which is meant to give you a cleaner strike on the ball. On each side of the boot, you also have a raised texture for added grip. Moving on to the sole plate, they recently introduced the Monarch outsole, which is also on their Stinger silo. It is pretty aggressive and has a decent amount of snap. What makes this unique is that the sole plate is built to support the tendons on the bottom of your feet. This is supposed to help with stability and comfort. Also, the mix of chevron studs with the circular formation close to your big toe is interesting to see. It's a bit of a hybrid situation that more brands are doing, as usually a speed boot doesn't really feature any conical formations or studs to help you turn. Now we're seeing this a bit more. Just a quick note before we continue. If you're a fan of the channel and want to stay up to date with the latest releases, please be sure to subscribe. This really helps the channel and allows me to do more videos for you. Now let's get back to the review. Moving on to the fit, I thought the shape of these was fine and should fit most people. They're a little wide and have a lot of room in the toe box. These would be friendly pretty much to any foot type, but I did find the room at the top a little annoying. The overall feel also just feels very basic. Nothing really stood out, but I will say that they felt pretty good on feet straight out of the box. Judging by the initial fit and feel, I would say these will probably take about 4 to 5 sessions to break in. If you're looking at trying out a pair for yourself, I would recommend staying true to size. I normally wear a size 8 US and the ones on my feet now are a size 8 US. I did experience a little bit of room in the toe box like I mentioned, but not enough to go down half a size. Now let's review the biggest win and loss of these boots. The biggest win is that for $160, this is a solid option to consider. When elite boots are now $200 at a minimum, these type of brands I think have a decent chance of getting some attention. Again, nothing really stood out for me, but I did like the upper and the fit. The biggest loss is that the upper felt a little too thick for being a knitted material. Usually these boots don't add a ton of volume on the uppers. Also, while I did like the idea of the strike zone, the laces are pretty thin already, so I don't think it's gonna help much. Instead, it adds more volume, which these already are going overboard with. Also, the sole plate to me didn't feel all that different from other speed boots, but it did feel a little bit less aggressive, which I don't mind. That's the Charly Zinetik for you. I'll leave a few links in the description in case you're interested in buying these. If you have any questions or opinions about these, leave them down below and I'll answer them as they come. See you on the next one.